Welcome. This is a story about betrayal, truth, and the brutal clarity that comes when illusions are finally shattered. Take a moment to listen because this isn't just about heartbreak, it's about survival. Ethan Colton had always believed his marriage to Julia was built to last. 8 years together, countless shared dreams, and a history that felt too thick to be torn apart by anything less than catastrophe. So when their conversations began thinning out, when her eyes stopped lighting up the room like they used to, Ethan convinced himself it was just a phase. Every couple went through quiet seasons, right? He worked longer hours at the firm, hoping the exhaustion and routine were the true culprits. Late nights buried in quarterly reports and client meetings, Ethan told himself he was doing it for their future, for her. That night he was still at the office. Just past midnight, the silence broken only by the hum of his monitor and the ticking of the wall clock. Then a message buzzed on his phone. At first he thought it might be an email or a reminder. Instead it was a text from Julia. "I need you now. Please, come to this address. It's urgent." No details, no context, just a location he didn't recognize. His heart skipped. Something in his gut twisted. He didn't hesitate. He grabbed his keys and headed out, speeding through empty streets, mind reeling with possibilities. A car crash? A threat? Something darker? His instincts screamed that something wasn't right. The address led him to a small, nondescript hotel tucked between closed shops in an older part of the city. It didn't look dangerous, just strange, unfamiliar. He sat in the car for a moment, watching the dim entrance. Then he went in. The front desk clerk didn't say a word, just pointed to the staircase like he'd been expecting him. Ethan climbed slowly, every step heavier than the last. His pulse was a hammer in his ears. When he reached the hallway, he saw a door cracked open, waiting for him. Dread rooted him in place. He stepped inside. There, on the edge of the bed, Julia sat crumpled over, crying into her hands. Her shoulders shook with every breath. Next to her sat a man with his head bowed, face hidden in shame. Ethan's feet froze. The man beside her looked up. It was Ryan, his younger brother. Time stopped. Air vanished from the room. Ethan stood like stone, heart rupturing in silence. Ryan didn't speak. He didn't need to. His face told the whole story. Julia rose to her feet, shaking, eyes red and voice cracking. "I didn't know what else to do," she whispered. "I needed you to know. I needed you to hear it from me." Ethan said nothing. He didn't trust his own voice. She began explaining, or trying to, saying it started innocently, that Ryan had just been someone to confide in. She talked about loneliness, about how they had grown distant, how she just wanted someone to talk to. Ethan stared at her, but his thoughts were elsewhere, lost in memories. Childhood with Ryan. Wedding photos with Julia. The three of them at family barbecues. Laughter that now sounded like betrayal in disguise. Ryan finally spoke, low and cracked. "I never meant for this to happen, Ethan. Swear. I didn't want to hurt you. I was weak. And I hate myself for it." Julia clutched Ethan's hands, sobbing. "There's more. That's not why I called you here. I need to tell you something else." He paused, searching for strength. "I'm pregnant," she said. "And I don't know who the father is." The room collapsed into silence. Ryan's head jerked up, horror flooding his face. Julia choked on her next words. "It happened during a time I was trying to fix things with you, Ethan. I was still sleeping with you. And with him." She broke down. Admitted she was terrified. Plus, shame. She had tried to keep it in, but the weight was too much. Ryan said nothing for a long while. Then, "If it's mine, I'll take full responsibility. I don't expect forgiveness." Ethan was ice. The betrayal had scorched every nerve, but he didn't lash out with words. Instead he moved. He grabbed Ryan by the collar and slammed him into the wall, both hands wrapped around his brother's throat. The rage he'd buried surged to the surface. Years of trust ripped apart in a single second. Julia screamed, trying to separate them. But Ethan saw something in Ryan's eyes. Not fear. Surrender. He wanted the punishment. Maybe he even welcomed it. Ethan pulled back. Dropped Ryan to the ground like a discarded object. Then he turned to Julia. "Don't follow me," he said coldly. "It's over. This child isn't mine. This marriage isn't mine. You two can figure it out yourselves." And with that he walked out. Down the stairs, through the lobby, into the night air that finally felt breathable. Julia's voice echoed behind him, but he didn't look back. When he got home, Ethan packed without pause. Documents. Essentials. No notes. No explanations. He drove to his office, locked the door, and sat in silence until morning. By noon he was in his lawyer's office. "I want a divorce," he said. "No mediation. No second chances. Just make it final." The legal process dragged on for months. Emotionally draining. Quiet. Devastating. A DNA test was done during the pregnancy. The child was Ryan's. Ethan didn't flinch when he heard. Deep down he had always known. When the divorce was finalized, Ethan sold everything. The house. His shares in the firm. He transferred assets, closed accounts, and left town. No farewell calls. No dramatic speeches. He vanished. Months later, Julia and Ryan's connection disintegrated. They didn't stay together. Whatever had sparked between them was buried under too much ruin. But Ethan, he didn't chase happiness. He chased silence. He moved to a small coastal town under a new name. Built a life from scratch. Found work that didn't remind him of anything. He didn't date. He didn't explain. But one morning, sipping coffee by the water, he realized something profound. This wasn't the end of his story. It was the beginning. He'd lost trust, love, and family. But in return, he'd gained something priceless. Because some betrayals don't need healing. Some heartbreaks don't need closure. They just need distance. If this story moved you, consider staying with us for more. New stories every week. Raw, real, and unforgettable. Until next time.